because that's all you have to focus on, one piece at a time. Even when I feel like the puzzle's not being worked, he is slowly and meticulously putting the pieces into place. I will not give up, and we will keep figuring this out piece by piece. Welcome back to Becca Believes, guys. My gosh, if you saw the vlog before this one, I know things got kind of emotional, and honestly, I know things kind of felt a little hopeless because that's kind of where I was at the time. However, we've got some good news to share today. Ever since my dietitian dropped me last week and then I had to stop working with my coach because I didn't have a therapist or dietitian, and again, that's in the contract of working with her, I have done nothing but spend every single day searching and continually searching for a therapist, which thus far this year had not been successful, and then also searching for a new dietitian because of everything that went down. And I just want to report, as of yesterday, April 27th, I had had the very first initial short consult call with a therapist, and she seems to be on board. We scheduled my first official new client appointment for May 9th. This morning, April 28th, I had my first call with who is going to be my new dietitian, and I know in the last vlog I shared with you how hopeful I was at the beginning, and then by the end I had that experience where my dietitian was dropping me and I knew I was losing my team. And by the end of that vlog, despite feeling motivated and determined at the beginning, I was feeling kind of deflated and defeated by the end. But I also said that it doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying, even though I don't know how I'm going to work something out. And I even got really vulnerably honest and shared that a lot of this feels like I'm just being abandoned by God. And I want to quickly add that this past Saturday, I had the first experience in a few months where I was listening to a worship song. It was the new 2022 version of Great I Am by Phillips, Craig and Dean. It's awesome, of course. But I was listening to it and I noticed for the first time in months, I was singing not just to Jesus or about Jesus, but to God the Father, about his characteristics, about who he is, about the great I am, and I didn't feel like a fraud. And I didn't have any of this other stuff lined up beforehand, but I had that moment where God just kind of let me know, hey, I'm here. I have not completely abandoned you. I know you've been feeling that way, but that is never going to happen. I am here. Even when you can't feel me, I am here. Naturally, I was extremely thankful for that experience. I have been trying to just flood my mind with worship music ever since, and just calling it like it is, I feel like I had hit complete rock bottom as of last week. I don't know that I've ever felt as hopeless, as defeated, as abandoned as I was filming, as I was recording the last vlog on this channel. And then God showed up big time, in a big obvious way, which I have been asking him to do all year. And he doesn't have to, that's the thing. God doesn't have to answer the things that I'm praying for in the way that I want him to, but it seems like as of today, he has at least helped the pieces fall into place of finding a new dietitian, of finding a new therapist, and eventually being able to work with my coach again. I want to add a quick note here. It is possible to do recovery without an official treatment team of professionals. It is possible. For many people, I know people who have done it. I've read books, I've read testimonials, I've watched videos of people sharing step by step how they've done it. However, it's also been made clear to me, especially over the past few months, that at this point in my journey, if at all possible, I do need that level of extra support and structure and encouragement. So I'm extremely thankful that I've been able to, despite months of not having any success, seem to finally have found a dietitian and a therapist who are willing to both join the team and help me get back to my life and get back to Becca.
I got a sleepy Beagle girl today. She a sleepy girl.
Decided to come outside for just a minute because I want to share with you an analogy that it's something that I have clung to since high school, and I've just recently shared it with a few other people. Oh, there's a cat going across the yard and Lucy is upset.
Just a minute, baby. I know that cat's in your yard,
hiding in that bush. Anyway, the analogy that I wanted to share is all about the puzzle of life and trusting God to put the pieces into place even when you can't see them. And I want you to go with me here for a second and see if it makes sense to you. And if it does, take it, run with it. If it doesn't, leave it. You don't have to resonate with it, but it's definitely something that resonates with me. And in light of the past week and a half, going from determination to, again, feeling like the rug was pulled out from underneath me, to hopelessness, and now back to, I think maybe hope might be here again. Once again, not saying that I'm not responsible for my own recovery. Recovery is my responsibility, but that also means it's my responsibility to enlist the level of support that I know I need to be able to make progress and move forward. So again, just putting it out there. I initially wanted to wait and film this video while I was actually working on a puzzle, but honestly, the pieces just kind of fell into place and it's a beautiful day, so I wanted to take advantage of this outside weather. But the analogy is this. Think about working a puzzle. If you like jigsaw puzzles like I do, you've probably had plenty of experience with with working a puzzle. When you go to start a new puzzle, what's the very first thing that you do after you dump it out of the box? You typically flip all the pieces over so you can see the picture side, because staring at the underside, the cardboard side, the plain side where you can't see what's going on is not typically helpful in helping you put the puzzle together. So I want you to think about your life as a puzzle, and specifically think about your life as a puzzle that God is meticulously piecing together one piece at a time. And I know that heaven is not necessarily right above the clouds. It's not as simple as that. It's more abstract. But if we're going to go with that analogy, so if God is up there in heaven and he's looking down on your life and looking at the puzzle picture that he is forming of your life, even if you're looking up toward God, what are you going to see? You're going to be seeing the blank cardboard. You're going to be seeing the underside of the pieces, and it is so much harder to put together a puzzle when you can't see the big picture. However, the good news is you're only responsible for doing one piece at a time. And honestly, when you can't even find the one next piece that is right, all you're responsible for doing is letting God work his own puzzle magic. And here's the thing, guys. I know just as well as anyone how frustrating it is to not see the next piece in the puzzle that is your life. To feel like there is not even a puzzle because everything is so jumbled, there's no way it could all be one picture. To want nothing more than to see the picture clearly so you can know that there's an end goal that you're shooting for. But the reality is that's not the life that we live on this earth. Especially as Christians, we know that we don't get to see the big picture, but we know the end game leads to eternal life in heaven with Jesus. However, that doesn't mean that the day-to-day stuff doesn't feel absolutely overwhelmingly impossible when we cannot even see what seems like the next piece to put in. Recovery itself is a huge puzzle with lots of pieces, and honestly, the pieces shift around a lot too, because your journey is going to change over however long you're struggling and trying to recover. Also, life itself is a big puzzle. None of us know how it's going to work out. We might have an idea of how we think the big picture should look at the very end. Honestly, though, we don't know the day-to-day. We simply don't know it. But think about how much comfort can be found in knowing that God, the creator of the universe, the creator of you, who created you exactly the way that you're meant to be, who created me exactly as he meant me to be, and that's the Becca that I'm trying my hardest to get back to because I don't want to live up to anything other than exactly what he has created me to be. How liberating even is it when you think about the fact that he's already seen the whole picture. He already knows exactly where every piece goes. He knows how many pieces there are. He knows where every single one goes, and he knows what the final picture is going to look like. All you have to do in this scenario is just take that leap of faith, which is a lot easier said than done, but it is doable, and know that when you just focus on the next piece, you're just seeing that underside of the cardboard, but you can still see the shape and the outline, and maybe you try one piece and it doesn't fit, okay, maybe try another one, it doesn't fit, okay, maybe on your third or fourth piece you finally find the next right piece, and that's all you're responsible for doing, one piece at a time. To quote Dory from Finding Nemo, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, swim, swim. So just keep puzzling, just keep puzzling, just keep puzzling, 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 knowing that God is working the puzzle of your life, forming a picture far beautiful than anything you could do on your own. And it's also very possible that you may not see that whole picture until this life is over and you are in heaven. But there's even hope to be found in that because it takes the pressure off of having to get everything perfectly right. There's also a lot of freedom in realizing, hey, I'm not responsible for putting together every single piece of this all at one time. I'm not responsible for this entire big picture. I'm just responsible in this moment to take the next right step, whether that's in recovery, whether that's in life in general, whether that's in your health with chronic illness, or literally any other thing in the world. You are just responsible for, yes, talking to God, asking God for guidance, and following what you feel like he is speaking to your heart and what he says in his word. However, it's also not up to you to work the puzzle instantly like that to be able to see the entire big picture at once. No, one piece at a time. Take life one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. Recovery, one bite at a time if that's what it takes. And oftentimes that's what it takes. And that's okay because that's all you have to focus on. One piece at a time. Like I said, this is an analogy that I have been using since high school, and it's actually my cousin who was our youth group leader is the one who introduced me to it. So thank you for that if you happen to be seeing this vlog. It's clearly an analogy that has stuck with me, and I hope that it at least is able to resonate with some of you and make some sense and kind of take the pressure off of having to figure everything out yourself. And it often seems to be the case that when you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't even find the next piece, that's when things will eventually start to click into place, even if you're not actively able to see what they are. And with the hopelessness that I ended last week's vlog on, and then the renewed sense of encouragement, and I hesitate to say hope just because I have such a hard time saying that and then having hope taken away, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna declare it right now. The hope that I am reestablishing a treatment team so I can get back to life and get back to myself and get back to enjoying life with my husband. It's just nice knowing that the pressure to do it all at one time is not on me and that all I have to focus on is the next step. And it wasn't until taking the next step, literally one call, one email, one Google search at a time, that the pieces finally started clicking into place, that things finally seem like they are going to be doable again. And honestly, more exciting than any of it is that I finally feel like I'm able to worship again without feeling like a fraud. And that is honestly the biggest gift of all of this. Yes, having a treatment team is absolutely vital for me at this point in time. I need that support. I need that structure, I've already said. But my soul the past few months has been very shaken. My faith has been shaken, and that's not something that I ever thought would happen to me. And as of Saturday, I've been able to reconnect with that deep, deep core self that I know is in my soul, that I know is in my heart, that I know worships God, that I know wants nothing more than to share his joy and to feel his joy and to be a light in this world for him. And that's all because even when I feel like the puzzle's not being worked, he is slowly and meticulously putting the pieces into place because he's the only one that can see the overall big picture. And I don't know about you, but when I know that the big picture, the whole picture is not up to me to figure out all at once, I can take some solace in that and realize that, hey, I'm doing the best I can. You're doing the best you can at any given moment, and that's all you have to do. So get out there and work your puzzle. No matter how long it takes, it will be worth it. As I'm sitting here editing the vlog that, if you're seeing this, you just watched, I realized that I forgot to close it out, and there are a couple things I want to make abundantly clear and make no mistake about. Number one, I think that these pieces that are falling into place seem like they're going to work out. Like I said, I even dared to say I'm hopeful about them. I realize that sets me up for potential disappointment, but I'm trying my best to hang on to hope. Number two, if for some reason one and or both of them do not work out, guess what I'm going to do? Keep searching for the next piece. That's it. One piece at a time. It's literally all I can do. Obviously, that also includes continuing to do the recovery work that I've been doing for months. And it also means that if I do come face to face with that disappointment and that feeling of abandonment again, I know that my determination and my will to beat this is stronger than it ever has been, and I will not stop until I have found all of the pieces, even if I'm having to do most of the work myself. Because ultimately, like I said, recovery is up to me. I'm just extremely thankful and grateful to be in a position where it seems like I have found a team that I will be able to work with that can help me while I do need that type of structure and support. But regardless of what happens, I will not give up, and we will keep figuring this out piece by piece. See you in the next one.